Psychic, and I am the host this evening as we wait for our creator, Lauren Hellickson, to come live with us. I hope that you are having a great week. It is a very good week here. It is launch week for the Signal Network, which is really fun. Um, Last night we launched it with Beyond the Badge Paranormal. If you haven't watched that yet, make sure you go watch their show. We got to see part one of the Cabinet 360, and we're going to see part two this Friday. Here's Lauren. As you come in, everybody, where are you from and how's the weather? Those are some of the things that I like to know. And Lauren, you're sideways.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Lauren's sideways, but she's a mad scientist, so maybe that's exactly what we're supposed to see.
That's exactly what you're supposed to see. Oh no, I don't know if I can orient this holder differently.
Just flip the whole thing like this.
Yeah.
Listen, this is just one of those really fun things that happens when you're live. Well, now we're upside down, but that's something. Look at us. We could do the like this is weird, but we can do like the Spider-Man thing. Now you're Spider Lady though.
Let's see. You know what? You keep talking. I'm just gonna figure
Okay.
this out.
So as Lauren tries to figure that out, as you come in, everybody, do me a favor. Where are you from? How's the weather? I'm in New Jersey, and it is probably about 70 degrees outside, although I do have a sweatshirt on because
I
sometimes
love sweatshirt season.
yeah, in September, I just need a nice warm hug, and that's what these are sometimes. So let's say hello to some folks that are coming in while Lauren's figuring our stuff out over there. We have Becky Ann Galentine. What's up? We have Silvery K Productions in the house. Christopher McClellan. What's up? Shelly's here. Sheila's here. Carmen's in the house. Cheryl Wright. Amy TB Art. Carmen. What's up? Everybody, do me a favor. Tower Paranormal's here. What's up, dude?
So
Do me a favor, everybody. There you go.
I'm holding
So
it.
you're holding it? Listen, we all start the same way. Confused, worried,
I was like,
unsure.
holding it.
No, confused, unsure. And then we figure it out. But yeah, I mean, it's a good analogy. We all start holding the bag,
Listen, at least
and then we go from
at
there.
least my background's cool.
It's so good. So Lauren went very cool and red, and it matches the theme of the episode that we're going to see today, which is really fantastic. So everybody, I want you to say hello to Lauren. Make sure you're clicking on her channel and giving her a follow on her personal YouTube channel. Lauren is man, you have such a biography. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about
Oh my
yourself
gosh,
and let me
I'm
take a
still
break from
holding this.
talking?
Wait,
Go ahead. It's fine.
are you sure you want to take a break from talking yet?
Yep.
I was trying to one hand a stand. Here, we're just gonna lay you guys up against my computer for now. There we
Bingo.
go. We'll just do that for a second, and then my OCD can take over from here. Okay. Oh man, who even am I? Some days. My name is Lauren, or you can call me Lauren Hans, and think of me as your spooky science friend. You
Like
guys
Miss
will,
Frizzle, but on a haunted school bus.
yeah, you guys will get used to that whole phrase. Hopefully, you'll be hearing it in your sleep. But yeah, I'm your spooky science friend. I'm legitimately your spooky science friend. So I really love some of the scientific aspects of the paranormal that we're not forcing science into it. The actual real honest to goodness sciency parallels that we can find in the spooky world. But I really, really like to be able to leave room for that mysticism and that wonder, because like we can't turn something that's not science into science, but we can definitely find some parallels and some overlaps, and that is almost just as paranormal as the paranormal, really.
Yeah, that's a good point. We of course science kind of has been hands off about the paranormal for a very long time, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories and regular theories as to why that is. Many scientists, especially ones out in the public eye, are very outspoken about how they don't believe in the paranormal. Even when I've seen them on podcasts confronted with really good evidence, they're like, "Well, you didn't walk my dead grandmother up to me with her oatmeal cookie, so how could I possibly believe that this is real?" Well, sometimes we have to bridge that a little bit. And, we don't talk too much about religion, but sometimes you have to use a little bit of your faith to bridge the gap. But in the middle, while you're bridging that gap with faith, we have people like Lauren who are really out there on the ground trying to understand the science behind the quote unquote hauntings, the things that all of us, for the most part, experience at some point in our life or another. And we're either scratching our head and saying, like, I don't know why that happened. Sometimes we just have it happened and we forget about it because it's not clicking in the rational brain to make sense of it, and we say that's enough. But Lauren has been fixing her camera as we're going, and that's exactly what we're looking for. When things aren't going correct or they're not going as expected, and they seem to be that wasn't paranormal, but when things are paranormal and happening, and we bring in our people and we try to understand what's going on, we need somebody behind the scenes who's also very technical and has a good education and understands some of the science behind why things are working or why they are working or why things aren't happening. So, Lauren, um, you also build equipment. So that's something that I really want to get into because that is such an interesting and fascinating thing for anybody to get into. Now, I'm just going to start this by saying this. I have a friend who's an electrical engineer.
Electrical engineer.
He, yeah, he's insanely intelligent. When we were in the third grade, I walked in on him building an oscilloscope, and I was like, "What is that?" And he told me, and I said, all right, let's go ride bikes or something. I don't understand what you're doing. But now I wish I had paid a little bit more attention to that because I wish I was further along in my understanding of these things. So, Lauren, how did you get started in building equipment for the paranormal?
That is a long story that
All right,
you know
short
that
version.
one day I was just about to say, I was like, one day, everybody, you can learn about that. I have it all over my content though. I will say I was definitely that little kid that was weird. But I would take things apart before I started learning how to put them back together. So I was always taking things apart and getting in lots of trouble while doing it.
Hmm.
I wanted to be a mechanic in high school. I tried to join the army to be a helicopter mechanic. I've always wanted to take things apart and learn how they work. And it never really led anywhere school wise. I don't know why. I was a dance major when I when I tried out college. So I had this weird fight between wanting to build things and wanting to be an artist and a performer and an entertainer and public speaker and all these things. And so when I started to get into the paranormal equipment is very expensive.
Hmm.
So I started out with just like electrician's tools and really simple stuff. And I found one proximity sensor that looked a little bit like this. A lot of people have probably seen proximity sensors that look like this. And I'm like, that's number one, just a rebuilt piece out of a door alarm. So that would be
Yep.
really easy. Ended up taking it apart. It was broken. I fixed it and I was like, I could build these. And the rest is history.
And
The
so
end.
from there, you just started moving on, and so
Yeah.
you did what a lot of, us as investigators do. We find things that, are used for something else, and then we make it work in our best estimation to, understand the paranormal activity that's happening around us, and some of it is very rudimentary, like, cat balls. Last night, Beyond the Badge, they were telling us that they like using cat balls
Oh
during
yeah, that was one of their
investigations, right?
favorites.
And it's
Mhm.
not very scientific. However, it kind of is on the other hand. It's such a silly thing, but if something's not to be triggered without vibration and all of a sudden something is lighting up and triggered and nobody moved, that's leaving us something to understand. So a lot of equipment like that is like that, right? The K2 meters that we saw from the very first day of ghost hunters back in the early 2000s, all the way to now. And we were introduced in our long television journey of paranormal shows to Mr. Bill Chappell, who I know that you look up to. I also think he's a tremendous engineer, and I love his ideas. And the best part about folks like that is he doesn't necessarily believe in the paranormal, but he's like, this might work, right? So he doesn't have any skin in that game except for to say like it might work.
I have
Whereas,
fixed a few of his pieces.
yeah, so how incredible is that? When it comes to the paranormal and building gear, how upset are you if you spend time working on a piece of gear that you're crafting and creating and then it doesn't quite operate the way that you'd like it to? What happens then?
It's interesting because if you got mad every time you failed, I don't think anybody you shouldn't be in this.
Yeah. Well,
Just that's
that's
going to
that's
create
just
a
a
lot of
part of it,
stress
right?
and I still have all my hair, so I'm doing pretty okay. Every time you fail at something, all that is an opportunity to figure out why and to make something better. So every
Right.
single one of my pieces has come from some sort of failure, and then I made it into something better. Best scenario here. This was like, I want to say this is my static sensor. You'll get to see this soon in person. So this was something that this is probably the fourth or fifth version of this before it ended up being this exact thing. And now it's probably one of
Okay.
my best pieces of equipment. I really love trigger equipment that just sort of alerts you to a change in the environment, that sort of thing that's like, hey, look over here, something might be happening. I love that
Right.
stuff. When we get so technical and we get so, and I'm going to say this and it's going to be so funny, over sciency with our equipment, I'm kind of just like, why? Like just something,
Yeah.
so give me a trigger and observe, because the paranormal, we are infusing way too much like sciencey technical stuff into it, and we're losing that
Sometime.
mysticism and that observation. And like, we, the first part of the scientific method is observing. We're not even
Yep.
through the observation stage yet.
And that's how most ghost stories start, right? Like, hey, I was sitting at home, I had a bag of Cheetos, I'm watching TV, I'm alone, and all of a sudden I hear footsteps. So I lowered the TV and I could still hear the footsteps. So I got up to investigate because nobody should be in the house. And I went into the kitchen, and instead of the one cabinet I left open with where I got my Cheetos from,
All
all
of
the
them.
cabinets are open. There's nothing high tech about anything that I just said. It was literally something that we've all heard that kind of story, right? So we heard the observation of the footsteps, auditory observation, right? And then the physical part. And that enough is sometimes enough to just send people running for the hills, but not us. We're kind of weird.
I,
So,
I would like to see some cabinets open up.
so
I
how
would
about
like,
we?
I would
We
like to
need to
make it a
build some
point.
cabinets that are built just to open up for the ghosts. How would that work? If ghosts like opening cabinets, why are we not
You know what?
making cabinets for them?
I'll be honest, we are still in the observation stage. We need to observe that in its natural habitat before we start to manipulate the habitat to try to make it work. Because people treat this like spiritual happenings, we treat it like it's like a dog and pony show, right? Like we
Yeah.
want that, like, hey, touch that if you're here. And I'm sorry, but if I walked into a room and somebody was like, go touch that, I would be like,
Yeah, probably not. I'm definitely going to be like, I'm not doing that because I have
yeah,
that
like,
real
don't
oppositional.
tell me what to do.
But yeah, exact. I'm like a 10-year-old girl. I'm like, I'm not doing it. And there's
Yeah,
nothing you can do to make me
absolutely. You
do
know
it.
what? I was going to, but now I'm not. So
Now I'm not gonna.
I love the observation of the paranormal. And people so much think like, "Oh, I'm studying physics, I'm studying astronomy." Like that realm is the world that's going to one day unite these two worlds. But
Yeah.
it's like, I am not trying to solve ghosts. I'm still trying to observe. And I'll probably still just be observing until I'm a ghost. And
Yep.
I'm totally okay with that. Maybe me, maybe me dying is the second
Right.
step. Just kidding.
Well,
That wasn't me like saying that. But you know what I mean?
no,
Like maybe
I
the end
got
of
yeah.
this life is the
I
next
tell
step.
people all the time. I tell people, I experience things that I can't explain all the time. Obviously I call myself a medium. I'm experiencing things that other people don't necessarily experience the same way. I'm not trying to solve the problem so much as trying to understand it and be
Hmm.
able to replicate it as many times as possible. So that way, when we go to a location or somebody wants to sit with me, I have enough confidence to say like, if I just do these couple things for myself and get in the right mindset, I can replicate it and we can have information come from wherever. So I'll also just observing.
Well, yeah, but like there is a time and a place where you do have to play that authority, because even if you're still figuring things out, you have figured it out at least like a little bit more than some other people. So we kind of have to act like that authority. And I am that at a lot of situations that I'm in as well too. Like, Lauren knows about the equipment, she knows about a lot of the physics, she knows about a lot of those frameworks, but I'm still like, here's the answer. And we're still like,
Yeah, all the
yeah.
way at the bottom. Yeah, and
Right.
to your point earlier, we may not actually ever be meant to understand until we make that next step in that transition. And until then, it's everybody's guess as best as possible, right? And we want to get answers, and we're trying, and mostly I wouldn't even be trying to look for answers if there weren't people who were very afraid and frightened from some of the things that are happening in locations and in their homes, which is part of the whole reason as to why I think we're doing this whole experiment where we're bringing in people from different locations, from different places in the United States with different backgrounds, and we're all trying to just get help to those people who need it. Education, through a little bit of fun and hilarious hijinks has never hurt anybody. It's the way I learn. So I think that's a part of what we're doing as well. And I don't know that I'm trying to solve that Rubik's cube of the paranormal.
Yeah.
And I don't have time. I only got, I don't know,
There's oh
maybe
my
hopefully
gosh.
another 40 years or so. That's it.
There are so many working parts of the paranormal. People think that it's just like, what are ghosts? And that's not what it is. Like the video that's going to play after this live is sort of like just one of those little instances. And it has almost nothing to do with ghosts, but it's still very paranormal. It's still very like cryptid adjacent, but it also has a lot to do with how sound carries, how the environment makes us feel, how there's so much psychology in this paranormal that it's not even just about solving what are ghosts. There's so much more that we can't even tap into yet. So
Yeah.
if we're out to like solve the problem, it's a fool's errand.
Yeah. Well, I think that you're absolutely correct in that. I mean, but we're going to try to get close. We're going to get some answers.
Oh, I'm going to solve
Tonight,
at least 3 of them, okay? At least
tonight's
3 in my lifetime.
good luck to you. I hope that I'm there when it happens so I can say I helped.
3.
Tonight's video, I don't want to give anything away when everybody watch it, but it deals with whistling in the dark in the woods. Now, I've heard that before, and I challenge it a lot. I'm one of those guys who says if you're going to be stupid, you better be tough. And you better believe I am very, very tough and durable. I can take a beating. So I'm whistling
Everybody,
in the
if
dark
Scott and
all
I
the
disappear, it's because we went out into the woods and we whistled
and
together.
we were
That's okay.
whistling. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm tough. I could probably carry her. It's not a big, not very far though. I'm
We
not
got it.
very
That's
fast.
okay. Don't worry.
So, I do have a really interesting story. I was at White Hill Mansion several years ago, and there was only about 5 of us in the
Wow.
whole building. And they were like, "What are we gonna do? We're not getting activity." And I was like, "I have an idea. Let's whistle because you're not supposed to." So we, not we, I whistled into the darkness a couple times, and guess what? We heard a whistle come back, and then things in the house started to get a little bit more turbulent. You could feel the energy changing. So, is there something about the sonic vibration of a whistle that calls in the paranormal? Is there, and by the way, I haven't watched your video. I wanted to make sure I was watching it fresh. So, I'm saying, is there something about that sonic vibration? Is it like when we use a dog whistle to summon the dog, right? Is there something to that?
Are you
You know
sure
what
you
I
haven't
mean?
watched it?
I swear to God, I haven't. But I think you and I think a lot alike. And it's the same thing like when, if you want your equipment to work, we have to figure ways to get the spirits close to us and trust us. And when I want mediumship to work, I have to be, in my opinion, the least threatening version of my human self I can be, which means complete peace, meditation, and compartmentalize everything. So I'm just clean and open and ready to go. Right. So it's got to be the same thing. So the whistling, when nothing was working, I like knocking, right? I don't know if there's anything about knocking in the dark you're not supposed to do, but we all learned that from ghost hunters. Like, can you finish the knock?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
and,
We do the
and
shave and a haircut or
yeah,
whatever it's called.
and now pretty much that's like standard, uh, you know, f- fancy ghost talk, right? For them. So now the whistling, and I'm really interested to see what your whole take is on it. It's going to be really lovely. Um, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And I will say too, about so the for the first few weeks, the videos will be like shorter, very digestible content. And I do want people to know that I'm hoping that you're loving like the shorter content because they are going to progressively get longer organically. I can sometimes go on a rant. If you've ever been to one of my talks or ever met me in person, I will always say you have to walk away or else I will keep talking. So I'm trying to slowly, introduce people, and then hopefully we're going to be getting up to like half-hour long episodes. But I'll tell you what,
Hmm.
though, this is one of my. I'm so glad that this one's first because I think this is one of my favorite shorts that I've ever done. So I have been just. It's been difficult waiting for this to come
Really?
out
Yeah,
because I
that's
love it so much. It's such a cool topic.
mhm.
And I'll tell you what, I slam a lot of stuff in a very short period of time. So it's just it's hopefully it's thought provoking. It allows people to both have a little bit of sense of wonder, but also maybe use caution, but maybe to lessen some people's fear if they accidentally find themselves walking around on their porch and whistling and they freak themselves out. But there's
Yeah,
just there's so many cool, and that's like one of those arms of the paranormal, just so many cool different facets of the paranormal that do have a ton of science parallels to them.
yeah.
So
I'm very excited to see what that's gonna be about. Now, we have your videos that are going to premiere as we go, but our producer Silvery K is reminding us, you and I, that on September 13th and 14th, you and I are going to be in Columbus, Ohio, and we're going to be investigating. Now, this is again very important for everybody to know. I only know that I'm going to Columbus, Ohio. I don't know the locations we're going to. I don't know what we're going to be looking for. Of course, I know there's something obviously paranormal to it. Um,
I
so
know.
before
I don't want you to think that I don't love talking to you. I just am. I'm like I can't. There's no way I can't talk to Scott because I'll let something
because
slip.
you'll spill the beans. It's okay because I do the same thing. I'm like, "Do you sure you don't wanna know?" But telling me absolutely ruins the
Listen, if I
experiment.
tell you and just
So,
forget it, okay? Just forget.
yeah, I believe me, that's not hard.
No,
Um,
I just
so,
avoid you.
for everybody to know, like, I want you all to be here. Lauren and I will be on location together. We're gonna have a team of people with us, and we are going to be investigating a couple different locations throughout the day, on the 13th and the 14th in Columbus, Ohio. So, not only are we gonna work together, Lauren's gonna see me in action for the first time, and I'm hoping that she's gonna bring some of her cool gear so that we can do some experimenting and get to understand what it does, and bring you
If
guys closer to what we're doing.
if anybody in the comments has seen the bridge in person or even some videos, I am bringing the bridge. That is going to be that is the one big piece that I'm exploring with communication. So you we can use it as oh you're just it's very very cool. It's a sort of a new take on exploring communication modalities. Oh, I do modalities. Oh yeah, Holly has seen the bridge. Also to
Oh, excellent.
thank you Tower Paranormal. That's very sweet.
Yeah, I'm
um
very excited. You kind of explained the bridge to me a little bit, and I would love to witness it and see how it works. And maybe this is interesting. Sometimes when I'm around equipment, it seems to work a little bit differently than expected. This is something that Ron and Lourdes, who do ITC as well, much different and different kind of stuff. Their stuff seems to work a little bit different. So I'm told when I'm around. So I'm interested to see how more communication will work.
Digital seance.
Yep.
Okay, that's what it's called now. Yes.
Yep.
Ron
Digital
and Lourdes
seance.
are
Yep.
very good friends of mine. I love them to absolute pieces. They're both incredibly brilliant. Oh, there's a couple people that have seen the bridge in person so far.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's a fairly new piece. I think you're going to absolutely love it. I did have a lot of fun with a very talented medium, Rebecca, who is part owner of the Madison Seminary in Madison, Ohio, with Adam Kimmel. And over the weekend, I had her with it, and I had her like hold the transmitter and also stand with the receiver. And um, it's already definitely like
Doing something?
made me feel weird about my own, assumptions about the paranormal. So that's always good. And I'm like,
That's good.
maybe I should reprogram this and make sure it's working properly. So you are definitely you're definitely gonna think it's pretty rad.
I can't wait to see it in action. What other gear can we expect to see when we go live together?
We're definitely going to be having what's called the KSE method in person, and the reason why I will be calling it the KSE method is because it was just recently presented at a symposium and will be published in an academic journal. So it is the static sensor that I have, the Seer, the microwave motion sensor, the Nova, and then my signature piece, the Crystal Pod, which is a proximity sensor.
Yep.
Those are really for being an equipment builder, I'm so basic. I bring around like 4 or 5 pieces of equipment at most
Perfect.
at any one
We
time.
I will be the first one to tell you that I really, don't get lost in the equipment field.
Yeah.
I'm happy that there are people that bring their suitcases of stuff with them,
Oh my
and
gosh,
then
absolutely. It's so
right?
fun.
And I'm like, "Yo, bring it, let's see how it works," but it's
Yeah.
not gonna be me, that's for sure. I'm a really big fan of very simple, basic methods, because I don't like getting lost in the weeds of basically, how did that why is it working? Like, is there somebody with a walkie-talkie setting it off? Is there somebody, fumbling around somewhere, knocking things around, and it's giving us false positives. So the
Yep.
more basic, the better, right? In my opinion. Not that there isn't a place for everything, but for sure. Hey,
Oh,
Beyond the
oh
Badges
my
here. What's
gosh.
up, guys?
There is. I mean,
Um,
sometimes it's just, do what feels right. And oh yeah. Oh, it is. Raul, I gotta remember that your tower paranormal. He did see me present the KSE method.
yeah,
So he just that's you just you're my documentarian, Raul. I'm
he's
telling you.
there. So
Um
yeah, we
yeah, no,
have
it's gonna be awesome. It'll be a good mix of stuff and oh my gosh, it's 8:58.
it's almost time.
Oh my
So I
god.
wanted to let everybody know that we will
I love
be
you, Holly.
dropping what you said?
Nothing. I was telling my friend Holly I
Oh,
loved her.
hi, Holly. So everybody knows, do us a favor. You already know that on Fridays we're going to be dropping Beyond the Badge Paranormal at 8:30 with a live and then their video. Lauren is going to be coming with us on Tuesdays, just like today, 8:30 to 9 o'clock. We're going to go live and then we're going to put up one of her videos. And just so everybody knows, if for some reason Lauren doesn't have a video ready for us, we will most likely step in and just do live conversations, and we'll
Yeah.
talk just like this, and we'll talk about the paranormal. We'll come up with stuff because Lauren is very brilliant. She has a lot of really amazing ideas. She comes from a place that I like to ask a lot of questions about because I don't quite understand. I get concepts, but I need somebody to explain them, and who better? Am I right? And that's why we have her here at the Signal Network, because we needed somebody who knew what the hell they were talking about, because the rest of us are just running around in the dark, running at walls, yelling at each other. It's a good time. It's a
Don't
good
get me
time here.
wrong, I've run into a wall or two. So I also too,
We
really,
all
really
have.
quick as well too. Stay tuned on these lives as well too, guys, every week because I'm gonna be giving stuff away.
We like giving stuff away too. So
Yeah,
we're gonna have to do that. Guess what, Lauren? It's 9 o'clock. It's time for
here
us
it
to say
is.
adieu so that we can go watch your video. Everybody, I expect to see you all in the comments in the video. Let's go. Lauren,
It's
thanks for
short and
hanging out.
sweet. You guys
Let's go
got
watch
time
your
for it.
video. See you in a
Yay!
little bit.
Bye, guys.